Hello everyone, I'm Nicole Roberts, a Tastefully Simple rep from Templeton, Massachusetts. I am going to be demonstrating part of our grilling kit. I am going to be making steak roulade tonight. So steak roulade is typically stuffed flank steak. So what I'm going to be doing is kind of a deconstructed steak roulade. So ahead of time, I have grilled my steak. I have chosen a New York strip steak to eat tonight, but you can choose any type of steak that you like. You can choose steak tips, sirloin steak, ribeye, any cut that you really prefer. And what I did ahead of time is I seasoned it with the Tastefully Simple Ultimate Steak Seasoning. Season it liberally on both sides and then grill it to your liking and then let it rest. So my steak just came off the grill, and while my steak was cooking, I took some bacon. I took a half a pound of bacon and I chopped it up into small pieces, and I cooked it in a frying pan. And I reserved 3 tablespoons of the bacon grease to then cook what I'm going to cook next. So here it is. So the bacon grease is nice and hot. So what I'm going to take is I'm going to take a package of mushrooms. I have the already sliced mushrooms here, and I'm going to add them to the pan with the bacon fat. And again, we're only talking 3 tablespoons of bacon fat, so we're really not, it's really not that bad. It will add a tremendous amount of flavor to what you're cooking. So we are going to cook the mushrooms. I'm going to turn the heat up a little bit here. So we're going to cook the mushrooms, and to the mushrooms we are going to add, we have Tastefully Simple onion here. We are going to add a tablespoon of Tastefully Simple onion to the mushrooms that are being cooked to the bacon fat. And then we have our spinach and herb seasoning. Not only is spinach and herb versatile for chicken, dips, you can also use it in any type of dish that you want to add, again, a lot of flavor to. It's that's the good thing about Tastefully Simple products, is you can use them for just about any application. So I'm going to be adding a tablespoon of the spinach and herb seasoning to the mushrooms as well. And then we are going to add 2 teaspoons of the Tastefully Simple garlic. So we'll add 2 teaspoons of that. And did you know, if you don't have a measuring spoon handy, a cap from the Tastefully Simple seasoning is 2 tablespoons. So you can kind of judge from there if you don't have a measuring spoon handy, or if all your measuring spoons are dirty because you've used them all, you can go ahead and you can just use the cap as a measurement tool. So we're going to brown the mushrooms up, and the recipe calls for, once the mushrooms are browned, the recipe calls for sun-dried tomatoes. So this is the brand that I chose from the grocery store. It's just sun-dried tomatoes packed in oil. Those are the ones that you want to get. Again, we're trying to impart the most flavor we can in this deconstructed roulade dish. So what I did with sun-dried tomatoes is I chopped them up into smaller pieces, and once the mushrooms, garlic, spinach and herb, and the onion are cooked and browned through a little bit, I am going to go ahead and I am going to add the sun-dried tomatoes, and then I have a bag of baby spinach that I'm going to add to the mix as well. Again, if you could smell this, this smells incredible. So the mushrooms are just about ready, and again, I'm cooking these on fairly high heat, just to give them a little bit of color and to brown them just a little bit. And again, my bacon fat now has absorbed, mushrooms have absorbed it all, and it smells fantastic. So I'm just going to go ahead and cook these up. Just a few more minutes there. So, yeah, again, this smells wonderful. All right, so my mushrooms are just about cooked. Again, I cooked them on fairly high heat. So with that, I'm going to add a bag of baby spinach. It's pre-washed. You can find this right with a salad. I'm sure you've all seen it at one point in time or another. So I'm going to add the baby spinach to the mushroom mixture. And I'm going to stir that around a bit. And then once the spinach wilts down a bit, I am going to go ahead and I am going to add my sun-dried tomatoes and let those heat through. And then I am going to add in my bacon. Now my bacon, I cooked, like I said, a half a pound of bacon. I chopped the bacon up into a fine dice, and I browned it in the pan, reserving 3 tablespoons of the grease to cook this mixture in. And I've drained the bacon on a paper towel on a plate. So again, the spinach is just wilting down nicely. It's making a great mixture to go ahead so I can add in the sun-dried tomatoes. So I have my sun-dried tomatoes here, and again, I've just chopped them. I've used half of a 7-ounce jar of sun-dried tomatoes. Again, that's packed in oil. So let those heat through a bit. Now, this is a recipe that you can make on weekends. You can make it on a weeknight. Literally, you know, you are cooking your steak to your liking. So my steak was 16 minutes on the grill. I did 8 minutes aside. And then this mixture, I cooked the bacon while the steak was grilling. And then it's just a matter of getting everything ready. I kind of lay everything out on my counter with my measurement tools and with all the ingredients that I need, so I can just cook and I can add to my pot, or my pan in this case. So again, my mixture is cooking, and I'll give you a little close-up there of what it looks like, and it looks super duper yummy. I cannot wait to eat. One other tip too, when you cook steak on the grill, you always want to cook it and then cover it in tin foil, put it on a plate, and let it rest. That way all the juices can redistribute in, because if you, once you take it off the grill, cut into it without it resting, then all your juices have gone and your steak is rather dry. So I am going to take my bacon that I have browned, and I have chopped up and browned and then drained on a paper towel, and I'm going to add that back in to the mix after the mushrooms are browned and after the spinach is wilted down and the sun-dried tomatoes are heated through. And this is going to be the topping for my steak. Again, steak roulade, typically all these ingredients are rolled up into a piece of flank steak and grilled or baked, but in this case, this is a little bit deconstructed, so you can just enjoy the ingredients on top. And I happen to be having a sweet potato to accompany this tonight, but again, you can have whatever side you want, or you can just eat it straight up as it is. So as far as my steak goes, I do have my steak cooking here. Let me just grab a fork so I can grab my steak. So I have my steak here, nice and grilled up. Again, grilled to your liking, whether you like it medium, medium rare, well, whatever have you. And this is going to be seasoned with the ultimate steak seasoning. So with that being said, I'm going to cut into my steak, and I'm going to see what we have here. So again, you just want to cut into your steak, and you want to plate it up, and you want to top it with the roulade mixture. And again, this is nicely combined together, smelling wonderfully. You just chop it with the roulade mixture, and there you have it. Steak roulade from Tastefully Simple. I hope you'll give it a try. And it was super quick, super easy, good for a weeknight meal or a weekend meal. I hope you all enjoyed this video. We'll see you next time.